Good morning, all. In last few classes, we discussed about work and energy. And in present class, I will explain about power. Okay. So when it comes to power, if you are doing any particular work, let me consider you are lifting a body or you are just pulling some other body of mass, some 5 kg. In all these cases, whatever we have discussed in last few classes, we just calculated two things. One is what is the work done in the process, and other is what is the change in kinetic energy or change in potential energy, like that. These factors only we discussed. But we have never discussed anything about within what time we did the work. That means we never have taken any time factor to understand the same particular situation. But sometimes it is more important to express the situation in terms of time also. Of course, for example, if I am lifting a body of 10 kg from ground to some height of 3 meters or 4 meters like that. In that particular condition, I may do the same work within 3 seconds or within 10 minutes or within 1 hour. Nothing, no information was given about that. And to explain about the power of a person, we have to use within what time that person can do the work. So that means to express the power, we need to know about work and also within what time the work is done. In such case, we use the word here, power. So power can generally defined as power can be defined as P equal to the work what we did and also in what time the work was done. That means simply power is nothing but work done per unit time. That is delta W by delta T you can write. Okay. But if you want to calculate, this is for average power or total power. Okay. But when it comes to instantaneous power, at one particular instant only, if you want to calculate the power, and all of us know that we have to apply some limit. What is the limit here? The delta T is should be very, very less, and delta T tends to 0 only you can write. So when you write like this, then it will give dW by dt. So power can be written as work by time, and simply instantaneous power can be written as dW by dt. And what is the unit for power then? Unit for power is, unit for work is joule only. And unit for time is second only. So what is the unit for power then? Joule per second, and commonly we can use watt. I think it is very familiar unit, watt per power. So if you want to express the power of a bulb, 60 watt bulb, 100 watt bulb, like that we use. So 1 watt is nothing but joule per second. And also sometimes we can use another unit also. And previously it was used, and nowadays also we express the power of some engines. We generally express in terms of horsepower. What is that? Horsepower. 1 horsepower in the sense, and another unit for power is horsepower. That is 1 horsepower is 746 watt. This is the relation between horsepower and watt. But as a unit, what we are using now is only watt. Okay, and the same thing we can express the equation other way also. That is what we have written for power here, instantaneous power. For instantaneous power, just we got the equation, that is dW by dt only. Okay, this can be written as, what is the general formula for work? Work is nothing but force into displacement only, no? F bar dot ds bar or s bar you can consider by dt. And what you can write for ds by dt? ds by dt in the sense displacement by time only, no? Displaced by time can be written as velocity. So power can be written as F bar dot V bar. This is also one of the important formula to calculate or to solve some problems. Okay, power equal to force into velocity, that is F bar dot V bar. According to this equation, we can simply know here that is power a scalar or vector. Since we are using dot product here, power is a scalar quantity. Here power is a scalar quantity only. Okay, by using these particular formulae, we can just solve some problems. See the first question here. A truck of mass 30,000 kg moves up an inclined plane of slope 1 in 100 at a speed of 30 kmph. The power of the truck is, see here, the mass of the truck is given 30,000 kg and inclined slope is given, which is given 1 in 100. That means the height is to be taken 1 and the inclined, this inclination length you can take 100 only. Just like if it is 1, then this length will be 100 only in that way. So based on that, if I consider theta here, then what is the value of sine theta? Sine theta is nothing but 1 by 100. In such a way, we have to consider. And if a truck is taken whose mass is 30,000 kg and at a speed of 30 kmph, it has to move along the incline. All are given in kilometers here, kilometer per hour and kg. Then the power of the truck they are asking. See here. What is the general formula for power here? Power is nothing but work by time. Power equal to work by time you can do. And here work in the sense, here you have to consider that from this point to this point, it is moving with same velocity. So there is no need to consider kinetic energy change here. Only you have to consider potential energy change. For example, it started here with 0 velocity. If it comes here with 30 kmph velocity, when velocity increases or when velocity decreases, then you have to consider change in kinetic energy. But from the initial point to final point, the body is moving with same velocity here, so that there is no change in kinetic energy, but it is moving to some height. That means there is a change in potential energy. The change in potential energy is nothing but work done. So then what is the formula here for work done? That is mgh only, that is potential energy by time. And of course, time is separately not given here. So that what we can write for time only, velocity was given, the constant velocity was given, and this distance also we know that. Then what is the formula for time here? Distance by speed only. For time, you can write distance by speed only. How much time it takes to start from this, to travel from this point to this point. That you can calculate by using the distance by speed only. Then finally, you got the formula for power here, that mgh v by d only. Now we just substitute the values here. What is the mass given? Mass given 30,000 kg. Into G is always 10 only, and H and D directly we cannot take H is 1 and D is 100. 1 in 100 in the sense, if it is having some 100 parts, if it is divided into 100 parts, out of this 100, this height will be 1 part only. But simply it was, in the formula we have that H by D. H by D means 1 by 100 you can write now. For H you cannot write 1. For D, you cannot write 100 directly, but for H by D, you can write 1 by 100. So in place of H by D, you can write 1 by 100. And velocity is given 30 kilometer per hour, and remaining 30,000 kg, that is in SI unit. So here also you have to convert 30 kilometer per hour into meter per second. So what we can write? 30 into 5 by 18. So just 10 and 0 will cancel. These are and 3 is a 9. Sorry, 3 is a 90,000 into 5 by 18. 90,000 by 18 means 5,000. 5,000 into 5 means 25,000. Power is 25,000 watt, and simply we can write 25 for 1000. We can write kilo here. So for power we can write 25 kilowatt. Okay, so this is the answer for given question here. And the second question: a particle moves with velocity v bar equal to 5 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 6 k cap meter per second under the influence of a constant force 10 I cap plus 10 j cap plus 20 k cap. The instantaneous power applied to the particle is. So we know the relation between power, force and velocity. That is nothing but power is equal to F bar dot V bar. Since both F and V are given in terms of vector quantities only, so directly you can take the dot product only. By taking dot product between these two, first you can multiply the I components. 5 into 10, how much it will be? 50. And about J components, minus 3 into 10, that is minus 30. And for K component, 6 into 20, that is plus 120. Totally 50 minus 30, 20, 20 plus 120 will be 140. Finally, the answer is 120 watt only. Okay. And question number 3. Assume the aerodynamic drag force on a car is proportional to its speed. Here it is given that aerodynamic drag force. That means the resistance force due to air only. So that force is given, it is proportional to speed only. Directly it is given F is proportional to V. If the power output from the engine is doubled, then the maximum speed of the car. When some car is traveling on the road, because of air friction, because of some force opposes the motion here, because of that air resistance, which is proportional to speed only. Definitely what will happen, the velocity will be limited and the speed will be limited to the car only. But to increase the speed to the double to the speed, initial speed, and then what should be the power of engine they are asking. Okay. Now, I will just write here the relation. What is the given relation here? Force is given, it is proportional to V only. The force is proportional to V. That is only the information given here. But generally, what is the formula for power? Power is equal to F bar dot V bar. Then simply you can write Fv cos theta also. And what we can write for F only? F is given, it is proportional to velocity. That means F equal to some constant into velocity. That one I will substitute here, so that what we can write for power. Power is nothing but kV into V cos theta. And finally it is K V square cos theta. So power is directly proportional to V square, we can take here. Simply here, power is proportional to V square only. But here, what was the given information? Power is doubled. Then we will just write here. In case of this relation, we can write P1 by P2 is equal to V1 by V2 whole square. Power is doubled in the sense, if initial power is P and final power will be 2P. And if initial velocity is V, the final velocity, that's what you have to calculate. Whole square. Of course, P and P will get cancelled here. half equal to v by x whole square. Then it will be v square by x square. Then x square equal to 2v square. And finally, the final velocity is equal to root 2 into v. So what will happen when power is doubled? When power is doubled, velocity increases by root 2 times only. Even the power is doubled, velocity increases only by root 2 times. See the question number 4. A body of mass 1 kg starts moving from rest at t equal to 0 in a circular path of radius 8 meters. One body was taken whose mass is 1 kg. It started from rest and it is just moving along the circular path of radius 8 meters given. Its kinetic energy varies as a function of time, Ke equal to 2t square. And kinetic energy is increasing with time in such a way that K is proposed K equal to 2t square. So t is in seconds. Then centripetal acceleration at t equal to 2 seconds is. Okay. I will just write here the given information. Mass is given 1 kg and radius is given 8 meters. Let me consider the body is just traveling in circular path along the circular path of radius 8 meter. Okay. In this particular case, mass of body is taken 1 kg and here the radius is taken 8 meters. We have to and kinetic energy relation was given here. Kinetic energy is given 2t square. Then they are asking us to calculate centripetal acceleration. Okay. Centripetal acceleration means the general formula for centripetal force is mv square by r only. No? That means centripetal acceleration is v square by r. So we should know the value of v and r also. R value already given in the question only. And if you know the value of v, then you can easily calculate the centripetal acceleration. But v is directly not given. Only the given information is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is 2t square. Okay, and they're asking the question that centripetal acceleration at 2 seconds. Now, see here. What is the general formula for kinetic energy? You can consider half mv square. That is given 2t square. So here what we can write for v square can be written as 2 into 2, 4t square by m only. So v square can be taken 4t square by m. And what is the formula for centripetal acceleration? Centripetal acceleration is nothing but v square by r. What we can write for v square? For v square you can write 4t square by m and r is also here. Now you can substitute the values 4 into what is time given at 2 seconds. They are asking us to calculate centripetal acceleration. So that 4 into 2 square by mass is given 1 kg and the radius is 8. So finally how much it will be? 4 into 4, 16 by 8. This is 2. For acceleration the unit is meter per second square. And finally here the centripetal acceleration is 2 meter per second square. And question number 5. A car of mass m is driven with acceleration a along a straight level road against a constant external resistive force. Of course, a car is given of mass m which is moving with acceleration a and a constant resistive force is there. That may be friction or air resistance, whatever it may be. Let me consider that is friction between road and the car only. Then the frictional force is r only. When the velocity of car is v, the rate at which the engine of the car is doing work. So here car has to do two things. And car has to do some work in two ways. One is the car has to move with velocity of, or it has to, it is given that it is having some acceleration. That means velocity continuously increases. And the velocity has to increase from 0 to velocity v only. That means the work, the change in kinetic energy is 0 to half mv square. That work it has to do, and also it has to overcome the friction, that is R1. So that finally it has to overcome the friction, and also it has to get some kinetic energy. So why should it get the kinetic energy? Because of acceleration. So what is the force? Total force here, the car has to apply here, the car has to apply the force MA to increase the velocity, and also it has to overcome the friction. So totally this much force is needed, and this is the total force into this having the velocity v only. No? So this is totally the total force it has to apply to overcome the friction and also to reach the velocity v into the velocity. So this is the formula for power. So the formula for power is MA plus R into V1. Simply the direct equation it is. No need to calculate anything here. Okay. Question number 6 only. A pump ejects 12,000 kg of water at speed of 4 meters per second in 40 seconds. Okay, but a pump is considered. It is just ejecting from the pump, some water is coming out, and how much water is coming out in 4 to 40 seconds? Within 40 seconds of time, 12,000 kg of water is coming out. That is very large amount in the considered time. So, but we can take here that much mass, 12,000 kg of water is coming out from the pipe in 40 seconds. And with what velocity it is coming out? At velocity 4 meters per second. That is the situation given. And now the question is, find the average rate at which the pump is working. That means the pump is working at the rate in the sense power only. No? The power of the pump they are asking us to calculate. And what is the formula for power here? Power can be taken force into velocity. Of course, velocity is given here, but force directly we cannot calculate. So now we can use the relation here that, so we know that power is nothing but force into velocity. Velocity is given, force you have to find out. And force, what is the general formula for force? Formula for force is rate of change of momentum. That is dP by dt. And of course, in place of P, you can write it as mass into velocity. Okay. And here velocity does not change, but mass is varying here. So that is V into dm by t. Mass is given within a particular time only, directly you can substitute here. M into V by T. Simply you can write M into V by T also. So this is what, where M is 12,000 kg and velocity is, and let me consider the water is at rest only initially before coming into the pipe. So that change in velocity can be taken 4 only. By total time was taken 40. And finally it is for tensor, that is 1200 newtons. Force here will be 1200 newtons. And into, and directly we cannot substitute velocity here since velocity varies from 0 to 4 only. No? So that you can just calculate displacement also here. How can we calculate displacement? Its velocity is increasing from 0 to 4 meters per second within the pump. So that let me consider it is moving under uniform acceleration. So you can consider S equal to ut plus half at square. And of course, initial velocity is 0. Then half into acceleration means velocity change by time change. Velocity change is 4. time change is 40 into t square. That means 40 square. This will be 40 and 140 will cancel here. 40 into 40, 160. 160 by 2 is 80 meters. So displacement can be taken as 80 meters. Then finally, power is nothing but work by time. That means force into displacement by time. Force we calculated 1200. Displacement was 80. By time was given 40. Then it will be 42, sir. 2 into 1200 will be 2400 watt. And finally, the answer is 2400 watt. You have to see here. Why didn't we substitute directly in the formula P equal to force into velocity? Because velocity is not constant continuously here. And initially the velocity of water was 0. It was in some tank or something else. And by using the power, we have to getting that water from tank to the pump only to the velocity 4 meters per second. That means velocity is increasing here. So that we have used the general formula, that is for work by time, and work is nothing but force into displacement. So that the final answer is 2400 watt. The next question. The uniform rope of mass 1 kg and length 1 meter is lying on the ground. Some rope is given, uniform rope is given, whose mass is 1 kg and length is 1 meter. It is just placed horizontally on the ground only. One end of the rope is pulled up by a worker with a constant velocity of 1 meter per second. Find the average power supplied by the worker in pulling the entire rope just off the ground such that rope becomes vertical. And initially it is given that a rope is placed here, maybe horizontally it was placed, or maybe we can consider in this way also it was placed. And what the work was done by worker here? The worker has to pull this end with 1 meter per second velocity, and we have to make the total wide like this. You have to keep the total wide like this. That means vertically you have to keep the wide. In that particular situation, they're asking us to calculate the average power. Okay, I will just explain here. See, in this particular case, initially, if I consider the rope is like this, and finally the rope was like this after pulling out, and the velocity is 1 meter per second given. So to just do this process, what is the change in potential energy here? Initially, when it is this particular point, this is the center of mass. When it is here, this is the center of mass. And if I consider the total length of the wire is 1 meter and mass is given 1 kg, and what is the change in potential energy in this case? The change in potential energy is nothing but mgh, na? That is m means 1 kg, g means 10 only, and h means you should not see the end of the rope. You have to see the center of mass of the rope. Center of mass was raised to the half of the length of rope only. That is, what is the height? What is the displacement of the rope here can be taken? The displacement can be taken, that is 1 meter by half, 1 by 2 only. Only the center of mass we have to see. So what is finally the answer? 5 joules. Change in potential energy is 5 joules. And also, that wire is made to move with velocities of 1 meter per second. Initially, it was at rest only. So what is the change in kinetic energy? Kinetic energy also increases here. So change in kinetic energy is half mv square minus 0. Initially, it was at rest only, na? So half into mass is 1 kg and velocity is given 1. So that this is 0.5 joules. And the total potential energy increment is this much. kinetic energy increment is this much. Okay, and total work done is nothing but here potential energy increases, kinetic energy also increases. Both were increased. So that you have to see here total work is nothing but delta U plus delta K. That is 5.5 joules. And now the question is, what is the power? Okay, to calculate the power here, power is nothing but work by time. And in what time this process was done? It is given that with 1 meter per second velocity, he is pulling off the wire. That means he can pull 1 meter wire in 1 second. But the length of the wire is also 1 meter. No? That means he can do the complete process within 1 second only. So total work is 5.5 joules. He can do that within 1 second. So what is the power finally? Power will be 5.5 joule per second. That is watt only. The power will be 5.5 watt. Next question. A pump motor is used to deliver water at a certain rate from a given pipe. By what amount the power of the motor should be increased to obtain 2 times water from the same pipe in the same time? Simple. The question, it is very easy to understand the question here that, for example, within 1 hour, if you are getting 1000 liters of water or 1000 kg of water through the pipe, if you want to get double the water, double the 2 times the water, and this is 2000 liters if you want to get within the same time. Initially, I have taken that in 1 hour, how much water we can get through the pump there? That is 1000 liters. And within the same 1 hour, to get 2000 liters, that means to increase the power by 2 times. So to increase the water by 2 times, how much power should be increased? How many times the power has to be increased? So it is very much important model question. See, listen carefully. And here the factor you have to consider is the rate of flow, the mass rate of flow. That means how much mass of water you can get within particular time. So then mass rate of flow, that can be taken as dm by dt only. So everywhere you have to consider 2 cases. In initial condition, that is dm by dt. In final condition, double to the water you have to get. Those 2 conditions you have to consider always. In second condition, if you want to get dm dash by dt, that is nothing but within same time you have to get the double the amount. No? That is 2 into dm by dt you have to get. Okay. Now, what is the general formula for dm by dt? The general formula for mass is density equal to mass by volume. So mass can be written as density into volume. Density into volume, but derivative is there, na? So dv by dt I write. And volume of pipe also you can write in terms of area of cross section of pipe into length only. Length can be a small element here, dx by dt. And dx by dt is nothing but velocity only. No? So what we can write for dm by dt, rate of flow, density rho into area into velocity, rho av. Okay. Then dm dash by dt you can consider density of water does not change in any case. Area does not change. But to get the more amount of water, velocity should be more only. No? So in place of v, I will write v dash. And here 2 into, in the first case, what is dm by dt? Rho a v. In first and second cases, the pipe area of cross section is same and the density of water remains same. Then what will remain here? Velocity v dash will be equal to 2v. That means velocity should be increased by double. 2 times you have to increase the velocity. But the question is not about velocity. Here the question is about power. So now when it comes to power is nothing but force into velocity. Now I will try to calculate about the force only. What is the formula for force generally? D by dt of dp by dt, na? That means rate of change of moment. And here you can write mass only changes here. The mass of water, the rate of mass flow only you have to consider. So V into dm by dt you can consider. If you want to calculate f dash, and what will happen to velocity? Velocity becomes double the initial velocity. And dm by dt also becomes double the initial. So 2 into 2, 4 only, and V into dm by dt means initial condition, that is 4f. So what you can write for force? F dash is equal to, that means force force will be increased by 4 times. And what about power here? Power is nothing but force into velocity. And final power if you want to calculate, that is F dash into V dash. What we can write for F dash? That is 4F we got here. And what we can write for velocity V dash? We are getting here 2V. And finally this is 8FV. Force into velocity means in initial condition, that is the power. And final power P dash is 8 times of initial power. That means to increase the rate of flow by double, to get the double the mass of water, the power should be increased by 8 times here. You just see here, rate of flow was increased by 2 times, and based on that we calculated force also. Force was increased by 4 times, then power is force into velocity. Then we got the answer that it should be increased by 8 times only. Question number 10. A car of mass 2000 kg is driven with constant power 1000 watt. Find the speed of the car at t equal to 4 seconds. Mass is given, power is given, and time is also given. Speed they are asking us to calculate. So speed means first we should know the work to calculate the kinetic energy. So what is the formula for power? Power is work by time, but work is power into time only. No? What is power given? 1000. And time given 4. And finally the work is 4000 joules. This work is done because of this particular power of the engine. So this work can be written as half mv square. Of course, initial kinetic energy is to be taken 0. Then change in kinetic energy is nothing but work done. So half mv square equal to 4000. Then if we just calculate v square equal to 4000 into 2 by m. What is m given? 2000. 4000 into 2 by 2000. That will be 4 only. So v square is 4 and v will be 2 meter per second. So the velocity, final speed of the car will be 2 meter per second after 4 seconds. Okay, this is very much simple, simply based on the formula. Question number 11. A particle of mass 0.2 kg is moving in one dimension under a force that delivers a constant power 0.5 watt to the particle. The power given to the particle is 0.5 watt. And mass of the body is given 0.2 kg. If the initial speed of the particle is 0, then find its speed after 5 seconds. The same question, similar question as in the previous. Okay, just we can write here. Here also work will be power into time. Power is given 0.5 watt into time is given 5. Then what is the work? 2.5 joules. And half initial kinetic energy is, since initial speed is given 0, initial kinetic energy 0, and final kinetic energy is half mv square equal to 2.5 joules. Then v square will be 2 into 2.5, 5 by 0.2. 5 by 0.2, this is 50 by 2, that is 25. Then finally v is equal to 5 meter per second. As in the previous question, the similar process, similar question is. And finally the answer for velocity, final velocity is 5 meter per second. Okay. See the next question. Figure shows a block of mass 2 kg slides along a horizontal surface with speed 4 meter per second. It is given in the figure only. The body was taken. It is moving with velocity V0 is given. That is 4 meter per second. The block compresses the spring until it momentarily stops. So while it is moving with this velocity, what will happen? It will just touches the spring, and because of its kinetic energy, it will just compress the spring. The magnitude of frictional force on the block by the rough surface is given 15 Newton. And of course, it has to compress the spring, and also it has to overcome the friction also. Friction is given 15 Newton. Then the spring constant is 10 power 4, that is 10,000 Newton per meter given. Assume that the time taken by the spring to go from relaxed state to maximum compression state is 15.17 seconds. Find the mean power of spring force during this period. Find mean power of friction. Find total mean power. Okay. Just I will draw the diagram here. The block was taken here on a rough surface. The rough surface is taken, and here, for if I consider one particular stand here, the spring is connected to that. Here the spring is connected horizontally, and mass of body is given 2 kg, and velocity of this body is given 4 meter per second. And here the frictional force directly given here 15 Newton. In this particular case, what is totally the given energy is how much? Let me consider half mv square. That is the energy given here. M is 2 kg, and of course velocity is 4 meter per second. That will overcome the friction. Work done due to friction in the sense force into displacement. Force is F only 15 Newtons. Displacement means, let me consider the spring is compressed by x meters. So that I can consider force into displacement. That is work done due to friction plus work done due to R, the energy stored in spring. That is half into kx square only. No? So the totally by using this given kinetic energy, it is doing some work against the friction, and it is also storing as potential energy in spring only. And this is the given energy. Okay. Now half m in the sense mass is given 2 kg. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. V is 4. That means 16. If you just substitute the value 16 equal to 15x plus half into k. K is 10,000 given. 10 power 4 given. Half into k means 5,000 x square. And finally you are getting 5,000 x square plus 15x minus 16 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. If we just solve this equation, we will get by using minus b plus r minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. It will give some, it will take some more time to calculate. Then x will be 0.055 meters. That is the value of x you will get if you solve this equation. If you substitute this x value here, that is the work done against friction. Here, work done against spring force. In both the cases, the time is also given, so that the power, average power in case of spring force is half kx square by time is given in the question. And in case of friction, against the friction, the power needed is 15x by time only. Okay, if you just substitute the values here, you will get the answers. So this is the concept of power. Okay, thank you.